So, it is time to hop into the recap. Last we left off, uh, the new order of fucking around and finding out, accompanied with an old traveling companion Myrrh, traveled via magic carpets southwest further into the scorching sands in the dead of night, hoping to get to a long lost, forgotten skyship station that was once ran by the city of Mirandaras before its demise by Igor the Dark Lord. You were able to try to spring a trap and lay in wait for Theris and his gang, only for them to somewhat get the drop on you, and a battle took place where you almost had him cornered, and in the last minute, a time stop spell revealing Nirvana Darkmoor to be present with them as well, preserved his life a little bit longer. Once Nirvana was slain, you guys discovered that there was one of the people amongst Theris was the red tiefling brother of Arya, named Arius, and he was showing signs of confusion and conflict throughout the entire fight, not knowing whose side to take. Finally, in a last-ditch effort, knowing the battle was lost, Theris tried to take you all with him, detonating multiple fire bombs that he had brought with him in an attempt to bring you guys down with him or the tower. And though you guys were some of you were scathed and battered from the explosion, you were able to shake it off for the most part. However, we're not going to start our story here tonight. We are going to jump over to a different plane of existence. The sky is dark and the clouds gray and blot out most of the sky. In the distance you can see far off storms, and you can feel the wind flowing through your face, and you can feel the strain of Peter carrying you, Robin, as you guys have been flying for 2 days and 2 nights. Eventually, after flying for new exuberant hours, you see the landscape around you beginning to shift. You see, instead of these gray, black, barren wastelands, you begin to see a rustic jungle beginning to rise out of the dirt. You see these massive trees and dark vines overtaking most of the land, and out of those trees and out of that vicious jungle, you see an illustrious, elvish-looking citadel. Elvish architecture juts out with these massive shapes. There it is. Crafted in the style of elven architecture, an exquisite marvel of marble and intricate carvings. It has graceful spires that reach up towards the shadowed sky, adorned with delicate filigree, adorned with symbols of what you can't quite see at the moment. You need to get a little bit closer to see what these carvings are truly saying. But you can see faintly glowing runes etched into the temple's surface, pulsed with an otherworldly energy, casting an eerie pattern of light and shadow across the surrounding landscape. Despite its beauty, there is an unmistakable aura of unease surrounding the temple and surrounding village as you and Peter finally land. You can feel Peter kind of give under your weight as you finally touch solid ground. He's done a great job of hiding it, but Peter is exhausted after flying for multiple days without rest. Almost immediately after you land, Robin, you see two figures run up to greet you. One man, one woman. They appear to be elvish in descent, however, not the typical elf that you see. Their skin is gray and almost like a unnaturally paled color, almost as if the pure energy of the Shadowfell has affected the lineage of them. One of them you see is wearing The woman is wearing these long black and grayish robes with hints of white in them, like a red sash. Not sash, a red, what's the word I'm looking for? A red woven braid around the waist of her robes. And you can see the sigil of that of a raven on her cloak, and you can recognize her garb and her the symbols of it, of that being a high priestess in the church of the Raven Queen. And you see the other gentleman is dressed kind of like a ranger, cloak and simple leather armor, finely looking elvish blade at his side, and they come up and approach you. Welcome, champion. We heard that you would be arriving shortly by the matron. Allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Thorn Blackthorn. I am the captain of the city guard here, and this is Vistra Shadows. She is the high priestess of the matron of ravens
here. I nod to them and say, I'm Robin. I thank you for meeting me here. Now, show me where I need to be.
You should perhaps follow us inside. And they begin to lead you towards the massive temple behind them. The architecture reflects the reverence of its inhabitants for the Raven Queen, with soaring arches and sweeping curves reminiscent of the wings of ravens in flight. Statues of ravens stand sentinel at the entrances to the hall. Their obsidian eyes seem to follow the movements of those who enter. There's an important part of this that I need to find. As you pass through the village, you notice that it consists of quaint, elvish dwellings. Their graceful curves and flowing lines starkly contrasting with the jagged edges of the Shadowfell's natural formations. Lanterns fashioned from crystal hang from lampposts, casting a soft, ethereal glow upon the cobblestone streets. Lush greenery and vibrant flowers adorn the village, a stark juxtaposition to the dark, brash jungle and much of the lifeless landscape of the Land of Shadows. The trees with silver leaves rustle in the cold wind, their branches reaching towards the light that struggles to pierce through the perpetual gloom of the area. Despite its idyllic appearance, there is a palpable sense of displacement within this village, as if it does not truly belong to this realm, to this plane. Shadows seem to linger longer here, twisting, warping in unnatural ways, as if resisting the realm's oppressive influence. As you enter the room, as you are walking, Vistra looks at you. Tell me, champion, what do you know of our village?
Not a whole lot. I know that there are some secrets that are held here, and I'm noticing that it doesn't look like this town was originally here. Care to explain a little bit?
A long time ago, our ancestors traveled here from your world when they were on the threat of destruction and annihilation. They brought this temple and what you see here with them. From there, we have built upon them and tried to improve. But in honor of our ancestors' sacrifice, we keep those structures standing and will never move again, and never take them down. And we will continue to spread our generations here in worship of the Raven Queen.
I see you're elvish. What, if you don't mind me asking, what were your people originally? What elves? High elves? What were you? I can also roll a check for that. What do I need to roll?
I'm rolling a history check for Vistra. Give me just a second. She has a plus 10 to this, so 27. Cool. We were originally high elves, coming from. According to the ancient documents our ancestors left behind when they came here, we were high elves. We lived in a desert city known as Mirandaras. After our matron's ascension, a civil war broke out amongst the followers of the gods in the pantheon. Some gods thought their followers would be wiped out. Many gods thought the others would attack them and and then in the midst of their fighting, according to their records, a dark day fell upon the continent of Plagaron, and the city of Vastamule fell to a dark threat. And before our city met the same fate, our ancestors decided to plane shift our temple and what little part of the city they could to this realm with us. With them, I should say. Excuse me. That was, I believe, 900 years ago, and no one alive from that point still stands. However, it was my parents who made that journey, and I would be. It was another 300 years after they came when I was born. This is Vistra, the high priestess of the temple, talking. So that she is. I'll just go ahead and above table say it. She's the oldest person here in this village. So if anybody would have the best, not say recollection of events, because she wasn't alive for it, she would be the one to know.
Good to know. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. So, since your people have been here so long, I see there are certain traits that you have acquired. I understand that the shadows they linger on folks. I myself have seemed to been affected by the shadows a bit.
As the matron's champion, it seemed like it would only be a matter of time until, after being here for so long, you would feel the effects, or the matron would just give you that blessing herself. But it's only natural that the magics of this realm would affect you the way that they affected us. Now, I'm sure you don't want to spend all of your time talking about us. The matron had sent you here for a mission, correct?
Yeah.
They lead you inside. Vistra leads you inside the temple while Thorn goes off to his regular duties. Along the walls of the Great Hall, well, like I was saying, when you first were walking in, the architecture of the temple reflects the reverence of their inhabitants towards the Raven Queen. Statues of ravens are at every entrance, and then once you walk into the Great Hall, there are these burning hearts that cast flickers along the shadows. Actually, I'm sorry. You guys, I didn't even pull you to the board yet. I'm thinking you guys are looking at the same screen as me. I'm very sorry. I just pulled you to the board.
Yeah. Well, nobody's streaming at the moment.
Well,
I think Dan was initially, but I think he was waiting to get pulled in.
That's my bad.
Oh, my bad. I thought I was streaming. My bad.
No, you're good. I thought I pulled you guys already. And you guys just walked inside. So, Dan, just for your sake of like the camera and everything, you guys are inside the temple at the moment, Robin.
I need to be able to click on my character because I don't know exactly where.
Technically, you guys are not here. It's just Robin at the moment. Yeah, so you guys would. I'm gonna put this is virtual on to see. This won't last a long time. This is just something for him, and then we'll jump back to the rest of it. But this is just something that's But anyways.
Share Robin's character so I can click on it so I know where he's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. They're not quite there yet, but you guys just walked in, so I'll just put you right here. But, sorry. There are burning hearths that cast flickering shadows, their flames dancing with ethereal grace. The hearths serve as focal points for meditation and prayer, their warmth offering solace to weary travelers seeking refuge from the cold embrace of the realm of shadows. There are you can see that this main hall is divided up into 3 different sections, 3 different chapels almost. At the center of each, off to the side of the main hall, those smaller chapels offer spaces for more quiet reflection and quiet contemplation amongst the acolytes and devotees of the church. There's ornate stained glass windows on either side of the chapel that run down, and you can see now that you're inside the temple, you can see that there has been some damage done to the temple. There are holes in the ceiling that some of the bare natural light of the realm of shadows is casting down. But even with that natural light, it is kind of hard to see, which why the hearths do come in handy. And you can see that some of the stained glass has been kind of broken in some places and cracked. But all the windows are there. There just seems to be some cracks in some places. Perhaps natural damage done from when the temple was plane shifted. And in honor of those people that made the risk, never saw them fixed. But at the center of each chapel, altars adorned with black silk and silver candelabras serve places for offerings to the Raven Queen. Flowers woven into intricate wreaths and bundles of herbs and incense fill the air with their fragrant aroma, symbolizing the cyclical life of nature and death. The interior of the temple exudes a sense of somber majesty, blending the beauty of Elven craftsmanship with the solemnness of the Raven Queen's domain. It is a place of quiet reverence and contemplation, where the veil between life and death grows thin, and the mysteries of existence unfold like the threads of a cosmic tapestry. As you enter the heart of the temple, the main chamber stands of towering loom, about 10 feet tall.
Main chamber right here, Corey.
Yeah, I'll move you guys over there and just let me move you over there. It would be over here. There we are. It is a large towering loom. Its intricate threads weaving patterns of destiny and doom. Glowing runes etched into the loom's surface pulse with a dim, otherworldly light, casting eerie shadows upon the chamber that surround you. You approach, and Vistra walks up to the thread. Come, champion. Sit at the loom and let the threads tell of your future. Let the thread show you the picture of fate that the weave stitcher is weaving for you. And she offers you the stool in front of the loom.
So I sit down. I nod at her and I sit down at the loom.
You sit down and you watch as this little basket, there's already some fabric already woven out into the loom. It looks massive. No one singular person could possibly loom it by themselves unless they were like perhaps a half giant. At least none of these people can. But you can see it begin to turn. After a moment, you being the champion of the Matron of Ravens in this sacred place to her and her religion, you can see that being a fate touched, being somebody who the matron herself has been given the gift of being able to see the threads of fate, you begin to see the loom turn and the thread begin to weave itself into a pattern. The first thing that you see is that of an eye. A dark, purplish, evil eye that you can, just from the picture, has magical energy lashing out from all different directions. the next thing you see is a series of islands, crooked and jagged in multiple places, looking like broken shards of glass. The last thing that you see from the loom is you see a wizard, a figure with a hand raised up, with a hand that has energy going out in all directions. You cannot tell of any details of what this person looks like. And then the loom begins to stand still and stop.
I look over to Vistra. I say, has anyone ever known what these visions mean the moment they see them?
Sometimes they mean different things to different people. Some people initially understood what fate had in store for them. Others were not so sure. They could be things that have already passed, things that are currently happening now as we speak, and things that are not yet to come, or things that never truly will. But it is up to you who sees the threads to decipher what they truly mean.
I'll have to do some digging into these visions.
Yes. As devotees of the matron, it is our job to keep track of her enemies and those who would do the matron harm. And we understand that you and we understand through our prayer and some of our acts of service that you were on the lead of a group following the Whispered One. Is that correct?
This is true.
Perhaps what you see in the threads leads you towards perhaps dealing with this threat once and for all, or somebody that wishes to use the power of the Whispered One to ascend themselves, perhaps. We are not 100% sure. Maybe these things can lead you to one of the artifacts of the Whispered One, and that they can properly be destroyed for good.
You've given me much to think about. This is true. There's a group that I know that could handle the Whispered One, and I may need to gather some assistance for that for the fight that looks like it's going to be coming up.
Yes. If the Whispered One were to return, if these threats are not squashed with due diligence, then you will need all of the help you can get, more than just the matrons. Which is why it is important that there's a certain artifact that is being kept here in this church that would help you on your journey. When you have found what you seek, come back, and we will give you what else you need. But first, we understand that you have traveled over a great distance to come. We here at the temple would like to offer you refuge for the night, for many days, as long as you wish to stay, before you go back on your mission. Surely you could use some rest after traveling for so long. You just got here. Let us offer you a meal and show you some hospitality.
I kind of raise my eyebrow and say, I am quite tired, and my boy needs rest. And I kind of look over to Peter. But I also would like to see if I can tell if this is a safe place to lay my head. I know that, this is the matron's area, but, there are always dissenters and individuals that are dangerous to be around. Robin has not laid his head very lightly anywhere that he has not been previously.
That is understandable. If you want, you can go ahead and roll me an insight check, at least on Vistra. You can, to see what her true intentions are and see how genuine she has been with offering her help and her services as the high priestess of this area. She's technically the mayor, because this is more of like it's only like a maybe. Like I was saying, it's probably maybe only like 100 people here, if that, and they're all very much like a theocratic society where the church is kind of what they answer to and things like that. So she's basically in charge. So, and if anybody probably didn't, I'm just gonna let you roll if you want.
Yeah, I got a 13.
13.
It wasn't great.
On a 13, I would tell you that what's the best way I can put this? The Raven Queen is someone who is a very lawful person and kind of follows a code of conduct to an extent, and Vistra is very much the same way. She is very kind of balanced and order-based, and she herself runs this village the very same way, on order and balance, and she runs a tight ship, because after what her ancestors have told her about the demise of Vastamule and the demise of their home city of Mirandaras, which it was one of the reasons they were forced into this interplanar pilgrimage. She runs a very tight ship, and she does not want to see history repeat itself with civil war and infighting. So if there's any of that shit and she finds out, she snips it in the bud real quick.
Well, I will take her up on her offer to lay my head.
Alright. You are led up the stairs into the second floor of the temple, and on your way you pass by a pool with a very thin layer of water. It looks like almost like a reflective pool, and you can see what looks like it in the water. You can see. Roll me a perception check as you're walking up the stairs.
Right, let me refresh the page, because that last roll pissed me off. That's a 31.
31. You see this long black. It looks like almost like a stick the way it's lying in the water, especially at the angle. It's a very thin layer of water, probably less than 5 inches of water. It's a very low pool, but at the bottom of the pool there's this large, probably 5 to 6 foot long, almost like a black, I wouldn't say stick, but it's not a stick, because on a 31, even at the bad angle it is, you can tell it's a sword that is laying in the reflective pool. Long black blade. You can see the image is kind of blurred from the water, but you can see the hilt is made as black obsidian as well, same color as the blade, and the hilt is almost in the shape of a bat. But it's just laying in the reflective pool. And you make your way up the stairs into one of the bed chambers that they lead you in, and Vistra looks at you before she leaves. Don't worry, we'll make sure that your friend downstairs is fed and is given a proper place to sleep. And she leaves you to ponder the information you have been given. And the last thing you think of before you doze off into your sleep, you didn't realize how tired you were until you finally laid down. And the last thing, as your mind wanders off into rest, you think of the threads that you saw weave before your eyes, and you thought of the eye and the islands that you saw, and you saw the figure with the hand, and you couldn't help but think in the back of your mind if this had something to do with Gandalf, if this is some omen of things to come. And from there, we're going to jump back to the Prime Material plane. The party, Vulgrim, Volsum, the simulacrum of Vulgrim, Gandalf, Brienne, and Arya. Along with Myr, you all stand victorious amidst the wreckage of this battle scene with Theris. Your surroundings are scorched and battered, evidence of the fierce struggle that has taken place. As you all stand around and catch your breath to tend to your wounds, you remember that there is an outsider amongst you all in this moment. Arius, the long-lost brother of Arya, is now with you. Not moments ago, he was your enemy. This kind of leaves you all with a bit of unease in the air, as if the conflict is not yet done. Brienne and Vulgrim and Arya, you all are at the top of this watchtower, and you all watched Theris detonate himself moments prior, where you were all almost caught up in the blast, and you see bits of flesh and what remains of his body and items scattered throughout the area. What takes precedence? The remains of your fallen foes, or the 6'8" horned red elephant in the room? And let me summon you all to that board now.
I'm gonna be real.
I fly up there as well.
Sure.
While this shit's going down.
Can easily say you and Wang Chitong flew up. Oh, yes, thank you very much. Okay.
I kind of,
What would you like to do? You kind of want to what?
I'm just kind of, Vulgrim is gonna kind of look at Arius, and then he's gonna just shake his head and be like, "I'm gonna go pick up these guns."
I would like to inspect Levon's body.
Roll me. Oh boy. Okay, we will start with. Yeah, roll me an investigation check real quick, Jamal. And Vulgrim, you are easily able to find the guns that Theris had created. You find a little hand revolver, pretty similar to the one that you have with your pepper box, and then you find this large rifle. You can see this is one of the devices that you had found in the scene where Sir Otis was slain.
look at Theoris's body.
Theoris's body is in
Whatever-
multiple different
wait.
pieces. He blew himself
Oh
up.
yeah, I
You can
forgot
find
about that.
you can find chunks of it if you want. It appears a lot of his magic items did survive the explosion.
So I rolled a 21 there, Corey. And then I did my important rolls as well. But, those aren't, like, very important right now.
Can I get him guns?
Volgrim already has them.
I'm asking Baldur.
You said what?
I said, can I get one of them guns? Am I able to use the gun? Is
Are
the
you
better question.
proficient in firearms?
I mean, we can start practicing today. You just gotta try until you're proficient. You feel me?
I mean, don't put your eye out. You could have a revolver.
Hey, no promises.
Is there an intelligence check that needs to be made to try to use a gun? You know, Brienne ain't good with technology.
Yeah, what's technology got to do with this Glock though? That's the better question.
You used to using things that go oonga boonga. I don't know if
Now I'm trying to say boom boom.
I'm pretty sure it is an intelligence-based weapon, though.
I don't know if there's such thing as an intelligence-based weapon in D&D.
Beg to differ.
I think it's like a dexterity or like a strength or.
I'm not 100% sure myself, but sorry, I had to look something up real quick. So, Jamal, you said it was a 31 or a 21?
21.
21, okay. On a 21, you notice that there is a body of Nirvana, which is a little different because if this was a simulacrum, it would disperse. It would melt into a pile of snow and water and would leave a massive gemstone behind. This looks like flesh. And after looking at it a little bit, it doesn't look like organic. It almost looks like it's been regenerated by some kind of magical arcane ritual of some kind.
Can I check to see if if this body has the sending stone? Or my specific sending stone?
You can look, yeah. On a 21, you would find that it's not there. There is no sending stone.
Of course this bitch ain't dead. Okay.
Is there anything? You said you said his magic items dropped. Can we search for those?
So Darius had on him a suit of leather armor with these arcane runes carved into them. You can't really tell much about it without looking at it more closely, though. It does look like a nice suit of armor, durable enough to survive the blast. But you can't really tell much off just first glance. And then, obviously, you found the two gloves, or guns. You find his hands, which are like blown up and still in whole. The only reason his hands are still whole is just because they're in these gloves that are magically enchanted. And they are like skin-tight gloves that like look like they were fit perfectly to his hand, with these intricate runic designs into them as well. And on one of the gloved hands, underneath the glove, you can feel what feels like a metallic circular object, like a ring of some kind.
roll for these?
You would roll me.
I don't know.
If, how do I want to do this? Yeah, you can roll me either. I'll say either investigation or arcana checks because they are all magic items, like I said. So
When do you want to cast guidance?
I think you and Levi were looking at some of those items. I mean, I'll look too, but I mean, I'm kind of. I mean, I'm good with a gun and maybe like a little something. So but I mean, I'll roll too just for the hell of it because it is magic items.
So what are we rolling?
You guys just want to.
investigation. Call it arcana checks.
Bet. Either
What
way,
are-
we good.
What are we rolling for right now?
Just see what the items are.
I'm
This is magic items.
I rolled a 15 Arcana.
I'm also gonna cast guidance on myself here.
I rolled a 30.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
I rolled a nat one. Yeah.
Oh no!
Damn it.
All right, I rolled a 26.
Y'all some Arcana motherfuckers, aren't you?
We are. We're supposed to be
That's kind of
We are quite
that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
If someone finds, Theoris's gloves, I would very much like those.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'll run those your way if they pop up.
So you already
Pretty
found,
good.
you found all those magic items. Just pulling up the list. All right. So the armor is known as the armor of weightlessness. There's a set number of charges in it. Using those charges, you can cast Featherfall and/or Jump as a bonus action or reaction. He had a Ring of Evasion, and he had Gloves of Missile Snare.
I just want the ring, to be honest. Y'all can keep those.
No. Can you repeat that one more time, Corey? My fault.
Your armor of weightlessness, a Ring of Evasion, and Gloves of Missile Snare.
Yeah, I want those gloves.
Ring. What you said? It's a ring of evasion.
Evasion.
Never heard of that shit before.
You've never heard of a Ring of Evasion?
I've never.
It's good at magic.
It's a pretty cool looking ring, to be honest.
As you were all looting through the bodies and through all the magic items, trying to figure out who gets what,
I personally don't need any of them, so.
plays taking a couple steps onto the top of the tower, which is badly damaged from the fire charges. Arius goes, well, we need to talk. All of you.
And I look at Arius and I say, "You are correct." And I cast. I'm going to cast Speak to Dead.
Wait. Oh
You're
shit.
gonna cast Speak with Dead.
I'll be right back.
Okay, and you're gonna cast this to speak to who? Dearest?
I'm going to cast. No, I'm casting this on Nirvana's body.
There is not a head.
There's no.
I mean, we can ask one of the dumbasses down there, though.
There's no head.
There's still 5 motherfuckers laying dead across the way, over yonder.
What happened? Where's her head at?
I believe. Well, first off, I believe Dan cut her in half,
No, bro, I diced her into like a bunch of pieces as
and
well.
then her body was also in proximity of the fire charges.
So is there no head that I can locate?
Roll me an investigation check with disadvantage. God damn.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Okay.
22.
Yeah, sure enough, it's very
All we
battered.
fucking care of.
It's battered and very fucking ugly looking. Burned and singed, and yeah, no, there's a head.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that thing. I'm gonna grab it and I'll place it. I'm gonna place it on or next to the fucking body, and then I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead.
What's wild?
I look at Gandalf and I say, "You're kinky."
I look at him like you got no idea.
This dude literally said we need to talk, and you were like, "Yeah, you're right," and then you immediately left to go find this severed head.
To talk to somebody else.
Yeah. Hey, because fuck what you got to say, Arius.
I'm interested in talking.
So I will talk to Arius as soon as what kind of rifle did I just get from Mr. Thayer's dead body?
Hey, he's not about to talk to you. Ari.
Now I'm thinking of shit I needed to do. It's
Oh,
called.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just fucked up and forgot. It's called. He calls it his blood rifle. It's enchanted to where it crits on 19s, and then it has a bleed effect to where if you crit on a 19 or 20, they take half the damage of the bleed. Like you'll roll total damage for your crit, and then whatever you roll for your total, they take half that damage at the start of their next turn.
Oh. All right, yeah. I'm gonna have to get you to write that up and
I got you.
Can make that
I can do it by tomorrow, so that's my fault.
Yeah.
I just forgot to do it.
No, you're good. You're good. No worries, bro.
But yeah,
So,
the
I got
rifle
mine.
had that enchantment, but the pistol did not.
Bisa suppose na agad yung masulit.
But so Gandalf, you cast Speak with Dead.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the energy go through Nirvana's head, and you hear her say, in her dark, twisted voice, "Is my memory mocked anew?"
Well, you've looked better, darling, but I still have some things to ask you. First question I have is, what was this corpse that we killed really you?
Of course not. It was one of my clones.
I thought as much. And I'll be short. Did you find the item that we were looking for all those years ago?
I'm afraid I did not.
You useless bitch. Well, that was all I needed you for. Before we go, I looked to the rest of the party and I asked them, were there any other questions you wanted me to ask before I torched his head again?
Yeah.
how many
I
more
want
have to kill your bitch ass? Sorry.
to learn some magic from her.
That's not really a question.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's gonna be a rough one.
You have to know, right?
Hold on. All right, finish. I had to put a French fry in my mouth. What is the spell you can teach me real quick, Navon? If we being real, I'm just kind of smirk at her.
I straight to the point.
It's not the Cupid ability.
Whoever.
Oh gosh. Now I gotta fucking look at her. Goddamn. Why? You dickhead.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just looking at.
well, I have her spell book.
fair enough.
Be nice with me.
Fair enough, Corey. You don't gotta look for it. I'll just, I'll sit,
I also
I'll
just
sit
don't-
down.
I also don't know what all spells you have access to as a wizard. I'm like, you guys probably have the same spells, honestly.
Yeah. I got you. Well, it's been. I wish I could say it's been a pleasure, and I'm just gonna cast Firebolt and just incinerate the head.
You didn't even ask her where her secret lair was. Crazy. The head,
Oh.
The head burns up.
Who says I don't already know?
That's fair. That's fair.
You already answered that question about when you told me the Sending Stone wasn't here.
I can tell you where it was.
It's my Sending Stone.
That doesn't mean you know where it is.
I can just track it. It's mine. Like it belongs to me.
We'll get there when we get there. We'll talk about it another time. But as all this is going on, Arius is kind of standing there a little impatient, like, are you done now? Can we talk? Before I change my mind?
Yeah, no. Arya is in the middle of entertaining some guests that just showed up out of nowhere. So I
Shit,
will.
how dare
it was like their kids' uncle bringing them here. I said that, but yeah.
they? Well, then
He was welcome.
Well, that's fine. We can take a quick break. I'm gonna run and throw my dishes in the dishwasher and grab a cup of water. We'll take like a 5-minute break, and then we'll meet back here. And yeah, ready, break.
Bet. Instead of letting me play, I'm sorry. He says that we're gonna take a break and yeah.
Alright, I'm back whenever y'all are ready.
Yeah, she's still talking to them. So I could either act like I'm her, or like I kind of know what she wants to say, but it's up to you.
It's whatever you guys want to do. I don't want to keep everybody waiting.
Yeah, I can just.
Well,
act
before
like
before we get into the Arius thing, let's what are we doing after this?
What do you want to do?
Because we were.
We can go to the temple. We can go back to the town we were just in. We can go back to the kingdom. There's a lot of things we can do. We can go to the Feywild. There's a lot of things we could do.
You go to the other. You could go try to find that dragon shrine that Aloy's family is tied to. You could go over to the pyramid where Arius was before he ran into Theris.
Isn't there a
Yeah.
demon lord that we're supposed to be stopping from reincarnating?
Which one? Your good friend Vecna or the other one?
What I'm
I
saying.
mean, Vecna can't come back without me, so I that was pretty much. I don't want to say it's handled, but like,
But you don't plan on letting him out?
nah, that wasn't my goal.
Okay. Yeah,
But-
I mean, if we got that handled, then yeah, we can focus on stopping this one.
Because that's where Arius was with the druids over at with the Wardens of Duskvale, who were maintaining and trying to strengthen the seal that is being weakened.
And that the demon lord that they're trying to stop. What's his name again?
Igor.
Igor. Okay, yeah.
Igor
That's-
the Dark Lord.
Igor the Dark Lord. Yeah. So, like, for Vecna to come back, there needs to be a whole ritual and the eye and the hand, and
There needs to be a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot
there's
of
a
different
lot of
variables.
shit has to happen.
Well, Well, you can keep everything safe, and that can stop.
I don't know where the eye is at. I have the hand, so if someone tries to bring back Vecna, they quite factually have to rip that motherfucker off of me.
Think it's possible? Somebody did just time stop you.
I mean, you can't time stop, and then you touch me. Then time stops.
Technically, time stop ends when you affect another creature.
So it ended when she, what's his name?
It ended as soon as he dimension doored with him. Yeah.
That was exactly when it ended.
Yeah.
Because realistically, she had like 6 actions left.
She has 4. So she and she only used 2. She dimension doored there, dimension doored back.
Yeah. So she could have did some more shit. There's some wild things you can do with
Time stop is crazy, bro. 9th level spells are ridiculous.
Hey, honestly, how much of a time crunch is this Dark Lord thing? Do we know?
It's just roll me a straight wisdom check.
All right.
I can't just straight up tell you, unfortunately, but I can give you some insight with a roll.
The answer is called too. That was on the wrong person. Sorry.
No, you're good.
16 is what I got.
16. You don't know the exact timetable, but you know that there is a clock, that is moving. Because it seemed like when you sat in on the council members meeting, it sounded like they were insinuating that there was only a matter of time until the seal broke. But they're not exactly sure what that timeline looks like. It could be tomorrow, it could be 100 years, it could be a year. They're not quite sure what could be the tipping point.
Does Myrrh have an idea?
Myrrh's part of that council, and Myrrh doesn't know either.
Okay.
Because like I was saying a couple sessions ago, when you guys were in the city, Weha is very isolated and very secluded. They don't really fuck with outsiders like that, so they don't really talk to the wardens unless it's absolutely necessary. So they don't really know everything that's going on the ground over there. You know what I mean? They just get... The wardens only reach out every once in a while when they absolutely have to, and when they do, they don't really give them all of the details, because for the most part, to be completely honest, Weha doesn't care.
Alright. Makes sense. If Goro pop out, they don't care.
Oh, absolutely they will. But they survived his destruction last time, so they're pretty confident they think they can do it again. But to be completely honest, above table, as the person who created the world, they got really fucking lucky last time.
I see.
So there was mention of some shit that Weha had kind of contracted Theris to find.
Yes.
What exactly? I mean, do we know or have more of a insight into that?
Yeah, of course. So basically, they contracted him to come to this skyship station to see if they can find the remaining pieces, or perhaps some residents, or what's the word I'm looking for? What remains of a skyship, and perhaps if they find an arcane spell engine that powered these skyships, they can perhaps replicate that technology and reintroduce skyships into the world.
It's almost like, they needed, a tinker and
kind of
a team full of people who could find some shit.
Yeah, which is why they hired Theris. He's a tinkerer and he's good at finding shit.
Well, he's dead now, so contract up.
Which is why you guys were in talks of possibly taking that contract over.
Yeah, that was the whole goal.
Yep. And not once have you tried to find shit. No, I'm just kidding.
I wanted it now.
All right, respectfully, we've waited a little bit, and I don't really want to keep us waiting anymore. So if you guys are cool with it, we can go ahead and jump back into the game, and then Arya and Arius can have a little one-on-one moment if they want to when she gets back. Is Dan still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, I had to
No,
take
you're
a
good. I just
call.
wanted to make sure you were still here as well because I figured you wanted.
I'm down to do that. Like talk to Arias or whatever, or whenever she gets back, she can do it. But we can continue for now. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. I just wanted to. I wanted to wait, but I just don't want to. Be waiting all night.
No, yeah, I understand. I will do it. Because she can talk for a while, and yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You don't gotta apologize. I get it. I understand that you have people over and shit's going on. But anyways, so
Yes.
so you guys finish rummaging through Theris's things, and you finish up your talks with the dead clone's head of Nirvana Darkmoor. And Arius looks at you all and he goes, "Are you all prepared to talk now? I have a lot of questions."
We got a lot of questions too.
Alright,
So
then let's make it. Then we'll take turns. You can ask the first one.
whose side are you on?
Real. Where have you been all?
That you're not following the rules. We take turns. I'm on
Oh.
my side, and I'm on my sister's side. My question for you: how did you get involved with my sister? How did you meet her?
I'm with Dan. I actually have no idea, to be honest with you. My whole stack. I'm not answer that question, my boy. Brienne,
Real, can you?
Yeah, what's up?
How did Arya get involved with the party? Arius is
Arya-
asking. How did you all meet Arya?
Alright, Jay, let me give you a call back. Alright, so Arias, we
so it's not just me.
no not, but okay, so Arya got involved with the party because one day we were in a fuck. I really don't. You're gonna have to do it, Corey. 'Cause
You were
I
in
do not-
Letterkenny when you guys met.
Okay, we were in Letterkenny,
Yeah, that's where Levi's from.
and we just got done with the battle, right?
I believe it was. I believe it was after you guys got back from the mountains.
Yes.
From
Yeah, and we
that
were
mountain dungeon you guys found.
Yeah, and I think we were in town, and something happened to where we kind of bonded in that city, and after that, they allowed me to accompany them on some adventures, and over time, we were saving lives and saving the world, and it just seemed like the right thing to do.
I've heard conflicting reports of your all's activity. But
From who?
It is not. Is that your question that you wish to ask me?
Oh wait, is this? We only get a certain amount of questions.
No, you guys are just taking turns asking one question at a time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yes. But I do want to ask that question. So yeah.
The man you murdered told me multiple things about you.
Convenient that man that we murdered was also trying to kill your sister.
From what he told
But you-
from what he told me. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. My bad. Go ahead. Let's finish what you were saying.
No, that was pretty much it, actually.
From what he told me, you all were keeping her with you against her will. forcing her to commit horrible acts against innocent people, and forcing her to do things with you all.
Does she look like she's here against her will?
I just
As
put
she
my hand
hasn't
on his
said
shoulder.
anything the entire time, a little bit.
Oh, I thought I was talking as Aria.
Oh, were you? I'm sorry. I'm talking as Brienne. I'm sorry. That's my
No,
fault.
I'm
You
talking
mentioned
as
that, and I
Aria.
forgot, so that's my bad. Yeah, you're right.
No, yeah, because she, yeah.
Yeah, because she's not here. Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to touch his hand, touch his shoulder, and be like, "That's exactly what this motherfucker was doing to you. You just didn't notice."
And
He
are
said,
you
Yeah.
sure these people haven't been trying to do that to you? Are you still the same sister that I left back in the forest?
"Okay, now Aria can play later, but then we're gonna have to explain what's going on."
Yeah.
Okay, so Aria.
I know what's happening.
Okay, damn, you got it.
Hey,
That's
Go ahead.
hilarious.
So go
Probably,
ahead.
I'm meeting my brother.
Okay, then go ahead and talk to your brother then, Miss Know-It-All.
Well, that is pride, no happiness, of course.
Uh-huh.
And what else? Well,
Some
can I hug him?
dialogue.
Can I hug him?
You
Yeah,
can
some
if you want
dialogue
to.
happens, but you can completely say fuck it.
What? Say that again.
No.
Can I hug him or
Yes, you
like,
can. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I said that, but yeah, you can hug him if you want.
I don't have to roll anything. Right?
No, of course you don't have to roll anything.
Frank said.
So I is running toward. Is he gonna accept the hug or something?
So you didn't know what was going on. Okay.
No.
No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
no,
I'm just
no.
fucking with you. You guys were asking each other questions, trying to figure out what bits of information you guys knew, but you guys give him a hug, and it's a strong, tight hug. This isn't. Obviously, you guys have grown up a lot since the last time you saw your brother. It's been 10 years, over 10 years. But the second he wraps his arms around yours, you almost know instantly this is the familial touch that I remember. I thought I'd lost you all those years ago. Tell me, how did you survive the burning of our home? I came straight here, and I was selfish. I didn't even think about what had happened to you until I was gone. I hope you can forgive me for that.
She's crying, and then she. Can we omit that part of starting explaining him everything since the beginning? We're not gonna tell him everything, right?
I basically already have. He already knows.
Yeah, they've done a good job of trying to keep him informed of what's happened.
He's not confused, or is he still confused? Like, you know.
I wouldn't say he's a little bit less confused now. He still might not be super trustworthy of you guys. He doesn't know enough about you yet, but he knows that you guys are not enemies at the moment.
I can tell him like these are the most crazy but
Crazy but trusting.
trusting people that I have ever met, and if I trust him, well, he can. I mean, you can trust him as well, and since now that I see him, I just do not want to go in separate ways. I would like him to join those, and I'm still looking for the tree, right?
You can say, "I want you to join us, and you'll get to experience it for yourself."
Yes. Nice. Know that as well. Yep. He's right.
That if you trust them, then I trust them.
But we don't trust you. Hold on.
Well, that's fine. I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah,
But
you
I'm
don't
afraid I don't know if I am able to travel with you or not. I'm afraid now that my head is a little clearer, I wish to head back to the Druid Grove in Duskvale. I had been there for many years after the destruction of the Gold Leaf, and the Druids there are facing a crisis. If perhaps you all could go and help lend aid there. Arya, your nature magic would be perfect for them. You would help them tremendously.
Going all of us together? Or are we, is this like a separation? A momentary separation?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
asking you to come with me to Duskvale, to the Pyramid of Remnants, to restore the seal that is being weakened.
And what seal is this? So, can I ask?
What do you know of the Dark Lord?
Oh, yeah, we know a couple things, here and there we've heard.
Then you know that the seal at the pyramid is weaker by the day, and
Oh,
before long it will be ruined. It will be broken, and the druids are fighting every day to keep him at bay.
And how long do you guys anticipate the seal being broken? You guys are the experts. You've been maintaining it. What's the real situation look like?
I haven't been there in a couple days. After traveling with Theris, he convinced me to leave. He told me he would run into you all, and so I came with him to find you. But the last time I saw them, they said they predicted maybe a week to 10 days, and that was 3 days ago.
Can I blow your mind real quick? The people you were working for were doing the exact same thing towards the temple that you love so much. The people you were helping were the people that were doing the damage.
Roll me an insight check.
Because I don't know this.
That's not
No, roll me an insight check to see how he takes this information.
It was only a 7.
You can see, for a minute there, you could see there was some clarity returning to his vision and like his eyes. Not like literal like clarity, like he was blurry, but like you could tell he was going through some internal strife, not knowing if he was on the right side or not. And hearing those words of confirmation that no, you in fact did choose the wrong side and sided with the villains, you can see he takes it a little not great. He looks almost ashamed of himself.
So I don't notice that he looks ashamed?
I'm telling you, you do.
Oh, okay. As I notice he looks ashamed, I want to be like, don't be ashamed. We can make your wrongdoings right by you taking us to that temple, and we can help you save it.
It'll be a couple days travel to get there. We're not far though. Honestly. Let me actually. What spells does this fucker know? Just kidding. He can't teleport. He can't teleport you guys there. It's not close enough. I'm sorry. I got your hopes up.
It's okay. We can get going at least for now, and then we do get close enough. We can teleport there.
I guess if that's a good idea, so you guys get
I agree.
better.
Gandalf, how does teleport work again? Do you know a place that you've been before, or do you just have to have a description?
I think both.
Okay.
But let me tell you. Also, we should probably send. We don't know, if this is the truth or not, but we should probably send Mur back to Leha with the information that this motherfucker might break within the next 10 days.
So I think we should ask Mur to help us. That's what I was gonna bring up too. Not help us, but like let his people know, like kind of what you were saying, Jamal. Let his people know that it's happening, so that
Yeah, they can come with some reinforcements.
But also, these motherfuckers are corrupt, Jamal. I sat in on that, I sat in on that meeting, and I wasn't getting good vibes. You can't just go telling everyone willy-nilly. You know what I mean?
I mean, no, that's fair, but we need more than just. We might need more than. If this shit actually breaks, we might need more than just Mur.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. We can run up a whole squad.
This is and Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the scale of this fight, I'm assuming is going to be similar to when we overthrew King Butt Stallion, right?
If I can be completely honest, this will be harder than fighting Butt Stallion. Because think of all the people you had with you with Butt Stallion. You had Minerva, Sir Otis, Akibo, and Kukui. You had 5 NPCs with you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We need a few more. Is what I'm trying to get at.
I mean, Mur is definitely the head of the army, right?
Head of military.
Yeah.
Head of military. It ain't no fucking problem, I don't think, to get some people.
That's what I'm saying. We should send them back to go have them pull up with some people.
Well, so Corey, is it on the way? Did we pass Weihawk?
I'm afraid it's the opposite direction.
Yeah.
How far are we from Weihawk?
You do have 2 magic carpets though that
Oh,
Mur
yeah.
has provided you with. So he could easily take one of them and leave you guys with the other.
How about traveling on?
I was gonna say we could take the magic carpets together to him and then go.
How far is it?
Because then
Okay.
at least we can short rest or long rest comfortably and get
How many days would it?
situated.
The magic carpets to travel to where you guys are now from the city, it took about 8 hours. If you were to
Okay,
if you were to take the magic carpets to the pyramid, I would say that would probably take you about a full day of travel. Whereas if you were to go on foot, it would take you roughly 3 days. But that being said, if you give Mur a carpet, you will only have the carpet that you will have will only fit a couple of you. It would probably only fit 4 of you at most.
Hold on, but Arya and Arius can, what do you call that? Change
Change shape.
into a.
No, he's not a druid anymore.
I think he's not a druid anymore.
Well, like he's not.
Arya can change into like a giant eagle, right? How many can I carry?
As a giant eagle, I would say, depending on who it is, if you carry Brienne, it would just be her. But if you were to carry, say, your brother, you could carry him and probably one other person as a giant eagle.
That means 2.
But then you have to fly for a whole day.
Okay, Corey. Can I do a Arcana check or a history check to see if I've ever read of or seen this place before?
Of course, yeah. Go ahead. History or Arcana if you want.
And Juwan, can I get a guidance? Because this is going to determine a lot for this teleportation.
Guidance is given.
Gracias, my friend.
Of course.
Well, we roll like the greatest there ever was. That's a 22 plus a guidance. 23 on the history check.
Hold on. We're doing history checks on stuff. I'm sorry, I was away for something.
This is just me.
I asked him because if you want to teleport everybody there, you can. But he asked about his teleport spell because he needs to have been there before or have a very descriptive, good description of it.
Yeah. So basically, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 different or 7 different categories of familiarity I am with it, and permanent circle, associated object, very familiar, seen casually, viewed once, had a description, or false destination. That then determines what my odds are on a D100. So if I've seen it casually, if I've seen it in a book or read it a few times in a book, then that's what I'm assuming we can do, and then that takes our odds up by about 50% of getting there.
How familiar would you be with Weihawk, though?
You said what?
How familiar would you be with Weihawk?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
With Weihawk, the city you guys just
I'm very familiar with Weihawk. We were just there.
Yeah, you were very familiar with there. But with this, being a student of magic and history, this moment, it wasn't the moment that destroyed the Empire, but it was the moment, it was the final nail in the coffin, in the metaphorical coffin of the Empire's collapse. So this is a very important moment for arcane history and world history in general. So I would say you're very familiar with this place.
Oh,
Even if you haven't been there before, you have done enough research about it to be very familiar with it.
All right, so then we have a 75% chance of getting there on target, and then like a 10% chance of.
You have a 10% chance of being off target by being close, but not being like exactly where you want to be. You have a 7% chance of being nowhere near it, but a similar place, and then a 5% chance of a mishap going off and you guys not and getting stuck in two places at once per se. Kind of like what's it called, splicing or splinging in Harry Potter, where you get caught in two places at once and take a shit ton of damage.
Yeah.
You have to roll a 5 or lower. But if that's what you want to do, I need everybody to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. And
No. We didn't make that decision.
And I need you all to roll a D100.
That's not what's happening. We didn't make that decision.
Y'all don't want to just teleport?
Well, no, because are you familiar with Wayhawk?
Yep. I literally have to roll a 25 or higher on a D100.
Okay.
Are you guys going to Wayha, or are you going to the Pyramid of Remnants?
We're going to the pyramid.
Okay. So it's just going to be us and Myrrh.
Wait, I thought we were sending Myrrh to back to the city to go get some people, and then we were gonna head there now.
Okay.
Or did you guys think we were doing something else?
Nah, I was just saying if it was better to show up all at once or just go, but I'm down to just go.
Alright. Oh shit. Yeah, so as I'm about to do this, a very good point. We should probably take a long rest.
Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely need one because some of y'all hurt, and I'm almost half.
I mean, me personally, I haven't been touched, but I've used a decent amount of spell.
Yeah, same.
I need healing.
Well, he said it's a day ride on the carpets or a teleportation.
Yeah.
We can just teleport out.
Wait, we're only a day away from Wayha?
You're 8 hours away if you travel on the carpets.
Oh, yeah, Dan, that's a better idea. Let's go back with Burr to Wayha, and then we can just teleport everyone there.
Yes.
There we go.
How many people can you teleport?
8 willing creatures.
Okay.
But
One.
Volgrim can
so
also do it.
technically 9, including you. But yeah, if Volgrim casts it as well, you can technically take 18 people.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's fly back to Wayhas. On the way there, we can long rest. Is that enough time to long rest?
Technically, I would say you cannot. Some of you could long rest on the carpets, but not all of you could, because you need at least one person on each carpet to be up to operate it. You know what I mean?
Wait, some people don't sleep. Like I think, right? Gandalf doesn't sleep, right?
You would have to time it to where, like, you could time it to where all of you guys can rest on there, but all of you can't take them at once. But yes, Gandalf as an elf only needs 4 hours of sleep, and he technically doesn't even sleep. He just meditates.
Yeah, I can do that.
Allow me to
Balsam can operate the other.
You're right. As a simulacrum, he does not rest and does not regain hit points. So Volsum could also do one. So technically, yeah, no, you guys could.
All right. Are we long resting? Should we go ahead and click it?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
And you all travel back with haste to the city of Wayha. Oh, excuse me. Let me go ahead and pull you guys to that board now.
I just
You all travel through the sands. And before long, again, you make your way through the rough sandstorm that has once again been recast to protect the city, and you find yourselves in view of the amber-colored sand walls and the giant rock peaks of the rock jutting out from the oasis pool, and you again see the city come back into sight, and before long it is upon you and you are back in the city of sand. And let me summon you guys to the board. And I'm assuming you guys make it break straight for the palace. I think we should probably go speak to the council immediately about what we have learned.
Actually, you know, I was gonna bring this up. I don't think you should. I think we should just grab some of your most trusted men, because I don't trust your men. You feel me? Not all of them.
I guess.
Me and Arya sat in on them and they some shady characters.
I understand I'm not trusting in people, but we got that feeling. I mean, it seems like.
And you have every right to be cautious of them, and I was very much cautious of them when I first joined, but I truly believe that if we came to them with this information, that they would help, they would approve sending the army down and enforcing it while we tried to do whatever it is we needed to do.
I don't know if we need an army. You know what I mean?
What one is this? It's a Dark Lord.
This Dark Lord is pretty powerful.
And more than Nirvana, right?
Oh, way more than Nirvana.
I'll go above table. I will tell you that as far as CRs go, Vecna is a CR 26. Igoril is a CR 25.
Hey, so stupid
Wait,
hard.
it's pick.
And what was Butt Stallion?
Butt Stallion was a 12.
No.
Yeah, we might need a fucking army.
But that being said, that was 8 levels ago. And you guys have, there's been a lot of open threads to some other powerful stuff, and who knows what'll happen. But is there anything you all would like to do while you're here? Myrrh has to ponder what you guys have told her. Go ahead and make me. Who all would like to assist in this persuasion check of Myrrh not going to the council?
Oh,
Let me see who has the highest.
I said it, so I definitely, I'm in on this.
What I'm thinking is like kind of a group skill check challenge, kind of like what we did last time, where everybody who would like to participate, you guys everyone can roll who wants to be involved, and I'll think of a number, and all of your guys' combined rolls will have to beat that number.
I'm pretty charismatic.
I got a +9 to persuasion. We out here.
Okay. Okay. Well, before anybody rolls, I'm gonna go ahead and set the DC for 35.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll, and tell me what you guys get.
We should all roll.
We rolling.
If everybody's gonna roll, that'll up the DC.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Is it just me and
If it's just gonna be Dan and Gandalf, the DC is gonna be 35.
My bad.
Well, Arya just rolled.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
but she rolled that before.
Yeah, we rolled that only.
What did you roll?
Nothing. That doesn't
No,
count.
she rolled a 9.
But that doesn't count.
Oh.
Okay.
You said he didn't say everybody.
But what is if it's me, Arya, and Gandalf? What is it? Maybe good.
I'll increase it by 5, and I'll make it 40. So the 9 will count.
Who has the best persuasion here?
Dan, I think.
As the
Yeah,
paladin, well, Levi is a sorcerer. As a charisma-based
Mine's-
caster, you
mine's-
probably have a pretty high one too.
What's yours, Levi?
Mine's +4.
Oh, mine's is +9. Let's just only go with mine.
Are you ready for that, bro? All right, Dan. It's just
Damn, he said we Super Mario Brothers.
Let's not only go with that. Let's not only go with that, bro.
No, we can't.
Only go with that. He said, "Nah, bro."
That man said we Super Mario. He's Super Mario. We just the brothers. Player one. He needs some help.
So what was it with just me and Dan, Corey?
35.
Let me throw my.
And you rolled a 12.
All right, I'm gonna keep it at 35. Just go ahead, everybody, and roll.
So
40. 35. It's 35.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Also about to hear this.
8, 9,
That's really hearing all it is.
17, 12. 17 plus 12 is 29. 29 plus, what'd you roll?
Can I re-roll since you said that
You
later?
already rolled. Nope.
Oh.
All right. Watch
Wait,
me think I just
29 plus 8 is...
Wait, how many must
37. It's everybody. I haven't rolled yet.
So then what's the DC?
It was...
He said 35. He'd keep it.
I just kept it at 35 because the first two rolls were super low and you guys weren't gonna hit it, so I just let everybody roll it. So you're at
Cool.
37.
Or you gotta let some shit fail.
I got a 14.
Plus 14?
37 plus 14.
27 plus 14.
No, 30.
So we
I just want to let y'all know that 14 came off a +1 modifier, so
50.
I gave you everything I had.
I wrote
If you all were gonna roll, no bullshit, I was gonna set the DC for 50 and you guys are at a 51, so
Oh, let's go. That makes sense.
yeah. So,
Could I just
well, I will think I won't tell them right now. If we're gonna stay the night here, I will think on it overnight, and then I will ultimately decide in the morning. But
Oh, no.
I think for right now, I think it's best that we keep this close to the chest and try to tell as little people as possible, because we don't really know who we can trust at this point, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, if you do, it might just be better for us. Because imagine you tell somebody that is untrustworthy, and we're fucked. You know what I mean?
Where are we at when we're having this conversation? Now that I think about it,
I mean, like, we're fine, right?
I would say you guys are still kind of just outside the city walls. You guys haven't quite made it into the city yet. I asked if you guys were going to the palace, and you said no. So, where do you guys want to be in the city?
We can even have this conversation on the way.
You can even have it on the carpets, yeah, if you wanted to, on the way there.
I mean,
Yeah, I'd agree with
Why
that.
even introduce the idea of people listening in? That's just on the way there. We talked about this.
So, sorry, what were you saying? Oh, I thought I heard you. But you guys make your way to the city. It is night. It is night. It is quiet. Most of the merchant carts are closed down and vendors have gone home. Only real sounds are coming from the bar. The lights are on in the library though, as it is open 24/7. What would you all like to do as you return to the city of Sand?
library time. Me and Bossum gonna go over there and go see if Tansy over there.
You and your simulacrum rush over towards the library, and you make your way inside. Your entrance is rather louder than you wanted it to be. Being a library, it's a place where quiet. People prefer the sound of silence, where they can delve themselves into their books and let their imaginative minds paint the pictures of what they're reading. And then it is suddenly broken by the sound of the giant wooden doors slamming open and the sounds of feet running, not running per se, but kind of jogging up towards the main cylindrical desk behind that is behind one of the main support beams of the building, within it carved multiple shelves with books with a spinning ladder that sits on a rail around it. And you see on about the third shelf, only about maybe 7 feet up in the air, you see a halfling woman with her long kind of brunette hair into one braid down to the small of her back, glasses covering up the majority of her face, and she looks over, very confused but also excited at the same time. Vulgrim, there's 2 of you, but when did you get back? It's so good to see you. And she kind of slides down the ladder and she kind of walks up to the desk from behind the desk, and she looks at which one. She doesn't know which one is really you, so she just gives both of you a hug at the same time.
Well, say I pat Valsam on the shoulder and say, "This is Valsam. This is my guy." And I just kind of say, I don't think I need to explain too much. I know how smart you are.
Yeah. She just kind of looks at it up and down. So this is a simulacrum, huh? I've read about them, but I've dabbled in magic myself. I'm a bit of a self-taught wizard per se. I can do some slight conjurations and cantrips, but this is some really advanced stuff, Vulgrim. Very few people can do this stuff. This is impressive.
Thank you. I
It's not gonna follow you around all the time, is it?
No, he vibes out. He's his own person. I even gave him a different name. He's cool.
Is he just not talking this entire time? What's he doing?
He's just being goofy. He's making silly faces at her because, he's like not offended, but like kind of amused that she would think that he's just gonna follow Vulgrim around the whole time.
He does have the same intelligence as you, but also like they do kind of do what they're told, So he's a smart ass. He's a smart ass about it. He's like, just making goofy faces at her. I got you.
But I had to come here and see you. As I seen you off the last time, I said that I would return. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that I was back and that I would like to spend the evening with you, if you will. When I left, I wasn't sure if I was going to return, and now that I have, I would like to spend time.
Oh, her face gets kind of bright red. She says, "Well, I do get off in like a couple minutes, and there's a couple taverns still open. We could go grab a drink if you want."
And I just say, the first thing that you said, you're damn right.
I'm actively confused. I'm like, what? What the fuck? The first thing I said, I'm off in 10 minutes.
So you'll get off in 10 minutes.
You're wild as fuck for that.
I see you out there.
That boy, look, he wasn't sure he was gonna make it back.
Her face gets even brighter red, and she goes, make it 5. And she kind of skirts down the ladder. She's already off the ladder. She runs back over to the desk and she tells one of the other workers that she's about to leave early. She gets all of her stuff and she's ready to go on your date.
Well, I tell Balsam, meet up with the rest of the crew. And, your boys got to handle business. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Alright, dog. I got you. And he just kind of daps you up, and then you both leave the library together, and then you just go opposite ways. And then, is there anybody else want to do anything real quick before? Because we're gonna jump into that next week. That date's happening next week for sure. But is there anything else anybody wants to do right now before we call the session?
On mute. What is the library, right?
Just Volgrim was in the library. Does anybody else want to do anything? Like I said, there's some taverns open, some brothels. There's a couple other various things.
Chance.
I'm gonna head on up to that secret chamber of the library that I was at last.
The restricted section? Okay. You easily there's a kind of there's a tabaxi, like a kind of like a tabby tabaxi working, and he kind of looks at you making your way up there, and as you're taking the rope off to go head up the stairs, he kind of taps you on the shoulder. He goes, hey boss, do you have paperwork allowed to go up there? And you show him.
Who's saying this?
One of the librarians that are working. He's a tabaxi, so he's like a cat person. He's probably about maybe about 4.5 feet tall. Kind of looks like a desert cat.
So as I pull out the paperwork to show him, I at the same time put my left hand on his shoulder. And I let the decay effect start, and I'm like, I'm in a bit of a hurry, sir. So if you want to just check this paperwork and let me be on my way.
Okay, cool. Roll 2d8 for me.
Quick side note: are you basically just Shigaraki from like My Hero? Just making people decay?
I don't remember enough, to be honest with you. I ain't seen My Hero in a brick.
He suffers.
Remember the hands on his face? Remember that?
Oh, shit.
The dude who was like mad ashy. Bro, that shit used to piss me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro,
how do you make an anime character's skin dry? Like, you can actually see how dry it is.
He got eczema. Chill out.
Bro.
Wild. But he suffers 3 points of cold damage as the decay ability begins to take hold, and you can see his arm literally begin to decay from the shoulder down, and you can see like the nerves and the pigmentation. His arm just begin to go limp and just like begin to decay on his arm, and he's like, okay, and then he kind of tries to push your hand off of him as you pull it away, and he just begins to scream in pain and horror of what you did to his arm, and people in the library are beginning to kind of like look up and begin to see what's happening. What do you want to do?
I say, sir, please keep it down. We're in a library. Have some respect. And then I just walk into the restricted area.
Wow. he continues screaming as you walk up the stairs, and you begin to hear the sounds of footsteps of people kind of rushing over to him to see what's happening and checking on him. What do you want to do while you're in the restricted section?
I am going to. I'm gonna look for any material that they have about the Dark Lord and Igoro, and try and better familiarize myself with that place. I'm pretty familiar already, but I'm trying to get this percentage a little further down.
Absolutely, yeah. Give me just a second. Let me pull up that document. So the thing you're looking for is the biggest book in the restricted section. It's kind of like the centerpiece of the restricted section almost. It's in a glass anti-magic case. That very few people have the keys to. One of them being Tansy, one of them being Myrrh, one of them being the Mao Dain. It is known as the I believe it is known as, let me find it just to make sure. Such a big document. God damn. It is known as the Cognizant Decimal. It is a collection of first-hand accounts of the rise and fall of the Sylvanic Empire. It mentions the spread of darkness led by the Doombringer, one of the many names known as Igor, the Dark Lord, and a battle that took place to seal him away inside the pyramid itself, and the sacrifice of an Air Genasi sorceress riding a back of a massive silver dragon in the battle. It mentions in the battle the druids of Duskvale, known for the name of the Dusk Tree, one of the many sacred trees in the continent of Plagaron that are rumored to have been planted by the gods themselves when creating the world. Ever since the battle of sealing, where he was sealed away, the few druids of the tribe that survived, of the grove that survived, pledged to watch over the seal to make sure that nothing bad ever happened to it again. While most of their grove was destroyed, it has been able to survive through the catastrophe in a weird way of nature coming back and restoring itself. And the grove has been since flourishing since after coming upon an underground water supply that flows into the grove. But the pyramid itself is rather large. It's about 100 feet tall and about, I believe, 60 feet, 30. I believe it's 60 by 60 at its base. I'd have to look at it at the map itself because I already have it planned out, but I don't have it written in my notes how big it is per se. But the pyramid was supposed to be the tomb of an ancient king in the Sylvanic Empire that was built in honor of him in the continent of Plagaron. Because that's where his kingdom was. That's what he ruled while he was alive, was that stretch of the Sylvanic Empire, and it had a different Zenian name, which was, it's right here. It was right here in front of me a second ago. I thought it was here in my notes. Zaperio, there we go. It was known as Zaperio. Gosh, that took me a second. But the king there once he died, the pyramid was built for his body to be sealed and for his possessions and all that to be stored with him, so that way he would have them in the afterlife. But after the bringing of Igor into the world, not saying somebody intentionally brought him in, nobody knows how he got in per se. According to the stories that were told, he fell from the skies one day. The skies grew dark over Vastmule, and the clouds grew dark and gray, and he fell from the skies, a black skeletal angel, and with one swing of his axe, the city fell. Obviously, with legend and myth, there's not 100% sure if that's the true guaranteed story, but that's all that remains of what happened is that story.
Okay. Is there anything about the process of keeping him sealed?
In the Cognizant Destinal, there is a page that mentions the sealing ritual, and it says that it is bound at a singular point into a demi-plane where it is sealed, and it is closed with a physical object that was bound to the Doombringer itself, something close to him, something that he could cause a great focal point of his power and symbol of his enigma itself, his symbol of chaos. The Entropic Lord is one of his names because he is said to have not quite be. I mentioned him as being a demon lord. A demon isn't the best way to describe him because he's not a fiend per se. I think they define him as a monstrosity. Let me double check. But he is, according to legend, he is chaos itself. Like, he is the embodiment of chaos. So, the thing that bound him, that seals him away in this demi-plane where he is forced to loom and linger and float in astral space for all eternity unless something were to physically remove this seal, is his scythe, his weapon.
Okay, so in this pyramid that we're going to, that's where his scythe is at.
Yes, and ancient magic seals it bound in place with a rune that was placed on it by and gave her life putting on there was Allura Ventus, the descendant of, or the ancestor of Aloy Ventus.
Gotcha. And so, what I'm trying to figure out is what people need to do, or what these druids are supposed to be doing to maintain this seal. And the reason I'm asking is because I want to ask Arius if this is what he saw them doing, or if they were doing something else, because then we would have a pretty good answer as to whether these druids are shady or not, if that makes sense.
I feel that. So, the initial ritual that took place to seal him away, how they maintain it isn't shown in the Cognizant, but the ritual to put him in there was shown. And it was kind of a combined effort by multiple people fighting in the battle, one of them being Allura Ventus, and the rest of the party that you guys a long time ago had heard of before, known as the Divine Visionaries. The Divine Visionaries were some of the people that helped liberate Plogoron in the aftermath of Igorl's rampage, as well as seal away the Dark Lord and help discover and repopulize and map out and what's the word I'm looking for? Revolutionize the city or the continent of Plogoron into what it is today. Amber Fastfire, who was the ancestor of the recently deceased Minerva Fastfire, as well as the previous king before Butt Stallion's uprising and usurping of the crown. as well as the founder of the Trulith Wizarding Academy. But they all helped in the fight. But the carving of the rune and the placement of the scythe that bound, and crafting of the demiplane was Allura Ventus's magic, gifted to her with the blessing of Ioun, which is detailed in the Cognizant Decimal as well. It mentions the gods playing a lot heavier part in the sealing ritual as well. It seems during this time, Igorl's rampage caused the gods to take on multiple champions in physical form, as many of them could not take physical place in the world.
Okay.
But the placement of the scythe and the carving of the rune was Allura's, but the strength and power of the magic was so great that she gave her life to it.
Mhm.
But that was just the actual sealing itself. And there's not, like I said, there aren't details of how they maintain it.
It sounds like it was just a really powerful magical act, which obviously took her life, and it seems like that magic is just weakening over time.
Perhaps. Above the table, the druids have some other theories about what's causing it, but that is also, yes, one of the things, is that it would naturally deteriorate over time, but it's doing at a much more accelerated rate than they can keep up, that they can maintain for, you know?
Gotcha.
Without them thinking there's some type of interference.
Okay. Alright. Well, that's it for me.
The screaming is still going on, as no one knows what's going on, and eventually, after you finish doing your research in the Cognizant, you hear the sounds of footsteps of what it sounds like soldiers coming into the library to see what's going on.
And that is when I cast Polymorph.
You can't just cast Greater Restoration on this dude that you just ruined his entire life for just doing his job.
No. For two reasons. One, that's just not how... That wouldn't be fun. And two, I Restoration, so I don't feel like going to get it. So, nah. Oh yeah, but we're gonna polymorph into a nice desert fly, or whatever the hell.
A fly. They're just flies. They're just fucking flies, Jamal.
Yeah, I want something native. trying to blend in, and I'm just gonna skedaddle.
It's a fucking fly.
Alright, then we're gonna polymorph into a fly and get on out of there.
Okay. You just turn into a fly, and as this guy's just screaming on the ground, the decay spreading, it's went into his arm, it's kind of getting into his upper neck at this, like, neck, starting to get into his chin, and, like, his his lower facial area, like his jaw and chin, and begin to overtake. The fly flies by, and soldiers come down onto the ground and begin examining him, and you fly and make your way out of the library. And I suppose that's where we're going to call it tonight, unless anybody else wants to do anything.
Well, can Nadia and Arios go and Brian, and if anybody else wants to join? You said we can do whatever we want before, right? Like, in the meantime. Like, go
I
on
mean,
yeah.
so-
Try to go get drunk.
You can, yeah, if you want. There's
Get
bars and
drunk?
brothels open, yeah. A lot of the merchants are closed because it's late, but
Actually, my idea was just going out for some drinks and get to know, so Arios get to know each, like, we all get to know each other better, you know. We- Not getting drunk.
I think we should get drunk.
Like rice, right?
Yeah. Literally, we should get that drunk.
not like that. Just so Arius can trust them, and Brian or whoever wants to join us.
You know, the best way to earn someone's trust is to fight them.
Oh, that's right.
This is true.
Is it true?
No, that's very true.
Hey, you got a
Very.
girl.
So.
We're just not resting. Let's go for some drinks.
I'm down for a couple drinks. Arius kind of nods and goes over towards the bar with you. You guys find your way back into the first bar you see, which just so conveniently happens to be pretty close to where the rest of your party was in the library, in the Red Lady Inn, or the Red Lady Tavern. You see a familiar orcish figure with like an orange tint to his skin, big tusks from the bottom of his jaw, from his teeth to grow upward. Welcome back. It's good to see you again, bearded lady. Can I grab you and your friends a couple drinks?
Well, yes, I reach out my arms and
They do the big. You guys do the big muscular arm grab like in Full Metal Alchemist, and yeah.
my homie, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give him 5 gold pieces and say I'm gonna buy rounds of beers for or whatever they would like until this money runs out.
For this, I'll keep them coming throughout the night, boss.
Ooh, let's go.
We want to celebrate.
Drinks are like 3 silver, bro.
Yeah, it's okay. This is my home.
And how many silvers? And how many?
I think I gave him a lot of gold last
Drinks
time
are
I was here.
drinks are like 3 copper. Drinks aren't that much.
Bruh, I'm trying to. You got a family, bro. I'm not. This is my homie. I'm trying to.
She is being generous.
Yes. Yeah, I am king. I could be a little generous. I got some bread on me. You feel me?
Bearded Lady King drinks. I get it. No worries. I appreciate you looking out for me. Yeah. Here you go. Well, this is just the local stuff we have on tap right now. This is it's mead, so it's made out of honey, but it's fermented with some of the natural Chiave spices from the area. So it's sweet, and it has a bit of a citrusy flavor from the Chiave. I hope you like it. And he pours 3 of the similar purple worm toothed flagons that are made special for drinking, and he gives them to you guys. If you don't like it, just let me know, and I can give you something else. I also got some Fire Wyvern whiskey. We have some new stuff in called Baelor's Bane. It's supposed to be a pretty strong whiskey. And then I have some other stuff, but it just depends on what you're in the mood for.
Pat on your shoulder and said, "Just how you like it, Brian."
Yeah, I literally chug it down as he's explaining what it's made out of, and as I finish the last drip, it drips down my chin, and I say, "Keep this coming all night. This should taste great."
He pours one, and as you put yours down, you notice that Arius is also just finishing his around the same time as yours, and he's wiping his mouth off.
I cheers Arius.
I agree with you. That's pretty good. I'll have another one of those too, if you don't mind. And then he pours
cheers
2
Arius.
more. He cheers you back. He slams in his back. He slams the second one back again. You seem to be pretty good at drinking.
Oh, yeah. We can throw it down. We celebrate like this after every victory.
He looks at Arius kind of concerningly. Or Aria, excuse me. He said he doesn't look at himself concerningly, but he looks at his little sister a bit concerningly. You drink like this after every battle?
Then I stayed up Brian like saying many things in my mind.
I look at Arius and I say sometimes mid battle.
It depends on how
When the
tough the
fuck
foe
did
is.
you get here?
You know, I just buzzed my way on over as I released my polymorph. Bro,
As you're kind of settling in, getting a drink, Gandalf, the bartender gives you a beer. No, go ahead. Well, this is kind of nice. I guess you guys aren't as bad as Theris told me you guys were.
Yeah, he was lying.
Apparently.
And I slide him another one, and another beer, and I say, "You can't believe in people so easily, including us."
So you mean, can I ask you guys something? The thing on Theris's forehead, he said you guys did that. That wasn't true?
Oh no, that happened.
that one was true. He deserved that.
He should deserve it.
Can I hear the story?
Oh my word.
Can I hear it from your point of view?
From my point of view,
From your guys' point of view. I heard from his point of view, and I feel like from after everything I've learned from him the last couple hours, I feel like it's just all fabricated, just like everything else.
but you know the Dark Lord that we were speaking of, just now. He was in the past involved in letting another Dark Lord out, or trying to at least. And he's also been a part of a few other things that within our part of the world could have been world ending if we would have let pass by. And one day, we caught him up. He was slipping, and we have a gentleman named Alloy that's a part of this group who
Where
It's a little
is he during this? Are you with them, Aloy?
Sure. Why not?
Alloy here likes to get a little kinky. You feel me?
Nah, he deserved it. He very much deserved it. That bastard. That man is a manipulative son of a bitch. As you know, he had to be branded. I only punish those who deserve punishing.
I can drink to that. I'm in the
He had to.
I'm in the similar boat,
Yep.
so I'll drink to that.
He is. He's been working with Nirvana Darkmoor and the Blackout Company a while, and I have a special place of hatred in my heart for them, due to the events of my family's demise, which Nirvana was a very big part of. So Theris aligning himself to those people, I had no choice.
I see.
It's justice, It's the way of the world.
You said
The way is the way of the faithful.
the way of the faithful. I get it. It's interesting you say that name, the Blackout Company. That's what Theris and that woman were calling that little group that I joined with them.
Yeah, they are very nefarious. We've been fighting, against these forces from time. Honestly, it feels like since the beginning, of our banding together. We've had to fight against these guys, and with every, you have to cut off all heads of the Hydra. So.
When you say that's the group that they were calling, are you referring to the druids that you were working with?
No, the group that we were literally just in, that we were in at the tower. Me, her,
I didn't know that
Finn,
you.
and the gunman and Darius. They were calling us the Blackout Company.
Oh, okay.
When I met Theris, he had a veil over her face. She was calling herself an oracle. And they were telling the druids a bunch of apparently lies about you all and the seal, and they were just trying to contradict everything that the druids were trying to say, but I don't know. Now that I look back at it, they were just trying to disprove all of the druids' findings of the seal weakening and the obvious signs of it being weakened. The druids believed that obviously the seal was the way it was made. The seal was going to organically fade over time, but the druids believed that there was another high arcane energy source coming from somewhere close by enough to where it was interfering with the seal's magic and damaging it somehow, but we could never find it. We never really looked for it. The druids said they could never find it. I never really looked for it.
Leave that up to us. We'll make sure we find it.
Around this time, you guys hear the footsteps of running soldiers carrying a limp body that is just looks like it is decayed, running past the the Red Lady Tavern, heading towards the palace, far off.
I just started to sip my drink. Like, I wonder if that's the guy that's been screaming this whole time.
Okay, thanks, Tom. This is weird. You just stuck the right into it.
I can tell.
It is effect.
Alright, so I guess we're not playing next week. Or, I mean, I guess we're not. I guess if you're not doing anything, we're not going to do it next week. If you guys aren't doing anything, we can jump back over to Jawan real quick. What were you going to say, Dan?
Yeah, no, I didn't have anything else. You know, we just getting drunk, partying and shit.
Okay. Alright, Jawan. I'm going to hop back over to you real quick with Tansy. You guys, I was going to say you guys go to the Red Lady Tavern as well, but if you see them there, would you immediately want to duck out and head to a different bar?
Hey, just you got a little romantic spot or something like that. You know, something a little bit more low key.
Ooh, I got you. Are you looking for like more of a divey spot, or are you looking more of a place with a view?
Place with a little view, you know, just to be ducked off. You know, just a little something. You know, a little low key.
Okay. There's a lot of gin-themed restaurants and bars here in the city of Weha, but you find yourself up one of Tansy's favorite places to grab a drink after a long day. It is known as... Where was it? I just had it on my thing. It is known as the Gin's Wish. It is it's more of a winery than it is kind of a traditional bar, but they have a lot of wines and ciders. But the main takeaway of it is a beautiful view of the Oasis pool from high up, from not high up in the city, but from the top of a tower in one of the corners of the city outside the palace, and you can see it glistening there in the moonlight, and all the stars are out, and you can feel the wind kind of the warm wind brushing against your face, and you can feel. It's just. I wouldn't say you can feel it. I mean, you feel the wind, but it's a beautiful view, and it's kind of. I'd say it's kind of breathtaking, with the pool right there, and then over with the scorching sands in the back, and at this view in this light, just off in the distance, you can vaguely see what the shape of what looks like a pyramid, hundreds of miles away, in the flat landscape of the scorching sands. But as you're just looking out, getting lost in the view, Tansy's just looking at you. Isn't it beautiful here?
It is. It is. The people have been blessed to have been around all this beauty this whole time. I'm entranced in it, and I turn away from the pyramid, and I just look straight at her. I'm like, I'm not talking about it. What's outside.
You say such sweet things, Volker. I must admit, at times when I'm around you, I find myself lost for words.
Sometimes words aren't necessary. You just you feel them. Also, above the table, y'all don't know how hard I'm trying not to make the joke because you told me it's a gin themed restaurant, and I'm like, I was gonna tell her
Just
like,
the name.
yeah, I know, but I was like, damn, like a genie's bottle ain't the only thing getting rubbed down tonight, girl. That was in my head, but I was trying not to. I had to let you know that I'm struggling.
Respect the honesty.
But yeah, I tell Tansy that, I could really get used to being here, if I had someone to share the time with.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Would you be interested in wanting to stay? And I can, show you where I don't want to brag or anything, but being the head of the library, I do have a lot of connections with some of the tinkerers and some of the guilds, and I could find you work or an apprenticeship or something somewhere. Maybe I could get you, or maybe Merc could get you a position somewhere in the council or something. You have a lot. I'm sure they would appreciate your experience and your high intelligence.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'm head of the academic wing back in our kingdom, and I definitely think that there can be some mending of the relationship between the two kingdoms. So I think that me being here could definitely influence that, and two, it could bring some of the knowledge that you all have into our kingdom, and then vice versa. So I think that it would be only natural for some exchange to happen.
Oh yeah. That there's been some tension growing between. Well, I wouldn't say growing, but there's been some tension between our kingdoms for some time now, and I actually heard about some of your friends going into the council and shadowing and not really getting the warmest welcome, and I think that's kind of a step in the right direction. I think that would be really honorable for you if you wanted to stay, but I don't know, maybe I've been wanting to leave for a while, and I've heard really great things about the libraries, and in the city of Phaethos. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if you get tired of it here, maybe I could come with you.
I think we can make some plans for that. You know, when relations get a bit better, maybe a teleportation circle can be made, and we can have free travel between both kingdoms. I know that'll take some time, but that's something that maybe we could work toward. You know, with you being here and um, myself spending some time here, those relations I think would be easily made a lot better. So I think we can work on making those plans. And you know, if I do say so myself, the libraries in Faithos are, you know, second to none. But you know, you have obviously your establishment here, and I'm not gonna belittle that. You're quite good at what you do.
You don't even know what I can do. She kind of leans over the table, kind of flirtatiously.
So I look her dead in her eyes and I say, "Girl, a genie's lamp ain't gonna be the only thing getting rubbed on tonight."
Roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah, go ahead.
With your +1, crazy.
With advantage.
Shit,
Hey,
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
The Riz don't need a modifier.
All right, let me see what advantage. Ooh, can I cast guidance on myself?
I'll allow it.
All right. Let me see what I got here. What I got here.
You don't.
All right, that's a 16. Hey. Um, I look at Tansy and I tell her one more secret. I say, I happen to be a blade singer, and we can be quite a.
You didn't even add your guidance.
Oh, so didn't have to. Let me see. Let me go ahead.
I didn't see you rolled a
Oh,
dice, so I just 19.
Oh, that's a
You didn't
30, so 19.
You didn't need it anyways, but I just didn't hear you say the final number. I just heard you say 16.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought you were rolling another one, so I was like, yeah, you don't even need the guidance, because I was hoping you'd roll a natural 20 or something, because I just thought it would be awesome. But anyway.
I really wished, but you know, I tell her, you know, I'm a blade singer, and you know, we can be quite acrobatic, if you will. I hope you've stretched.
She goes, just stop talking, and she kisses you, and you know, you guys fade to black, and you leave the bar and go about your adultly business. As you all settle in for the evening, full of ale and wine, and some of you have a longer night than others. Some of you find sleep rather quickly. Some of you are met with peaceful dreams. Alloy, while you are sleeping, you find yourself kind of floating in water. It submerges you. You feel yourself floating in the blackest of seas, where you're so deep that there's no sunlight coming through, but you feel the weightlessness of being underwater. You feel the lack of oxygen. You feel the coldness. And and you see in the distance, you see a flame cut through the water, and you feel it pulling you closer and closer, and in the flame, an image begins to emerge. It's an image that's engraved into your mind and memory. It's the image of your family's home, the Ventus Manor, burning up in flames. You see the image closing in it tightly inside the home, and you see your father being shot with a crossbow multiple times. You see the image shifting into another part of the manor where your mother is stabbed violently numerous times, to the point where it's just blood everywhere, spattered across the walls. Cuts to another house entirely inside the estate, and you see your Uncle Smoke fighting for his life against multiple opponents before they take the better of him. You cut to an open field, the training field, where you and your little brother spent constant hours, and you see a woman you recognize as Navana Darkmoor. And you see a little boy that you recognize as your little brother Anados. Shield up, his little practice sword at his side, tears in his eyes, standing his ground, trying to fight off the intruders. You see Navana raise a finger. Go to sleep. And you see a jolt of lightning, of green necrotic energy jolt out towards your little brother. And he falls limp. And it cuts one more time to your room. It cuts in a little closer. You hiding. Tears in your eyes. Hand over your mouth. Silent. Not moving. Trying not to breathe. Trying not to make a sound. Gandalf. In your trans, what's the word I'm looking for? In your state of meditation, you find yourself not needing sleep given your ancestral abilities as an elf. However, you still find yourself in a meditative state where you find yourself in a kind of like kind of a pseudo sleep, you know, it's kind of in that light sleep where you are kind of nodded off, but you are alerted, like you still have your awareness around you and everything, and you are kind of broken from your state of meditation when you hear something in your pocket kind of beeping. You recognize it as the calling of a sending stone.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering when I'd be hearing from you.
You pull it out and you hear, "Hello? Can you hear me?"
Mm-hmm. Loud and clear.
Well, I think I found it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring it back, but
It's okay. I've already made provisions for that. I'll be seeing you soon.
All right. If I die, you can find my
Then you
body.
die.
If you come to the Glass Islands, you'll find my body there.
All right. I have faith in you. I believe you'll make it out. I trained you well.
You hear nothing left?
All right.
And that's where we'll call the session for the night. You guys get a long rest. And since you guys are out of combat and you guys finished the arc and everything, I will go ahead and, by the power in me vested as the Dungeon Master, I would like to congratulate you all as you have officially leveled up to level 18.
Oh my god.
Noise.
Yo. That was a dream that Alloy was having, right?
Yes.
Bro. Heavy, like, Uchiha Clan Massacre vibes just now. I was like, hey, yo, this is getting dark.
I thought these dreams would, subside when a nigga finally got revenge. But here we are.
Anytime you use your Appearing Dragon Mark, you have nightmares, remember?
Oh, that was true. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Man just out here doing it to himself.
Trust me, the next time it happens, it'll be a different one.
Yeah.
Because trust me, you got some other loose threads, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Y'all let me know.
We're at 6500.
I'm gonna have to get off here.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, bro.